Can I ask you something? Have you ever opened your banking app, looked at your balance, and then quietly closed it again? Not because you didn't have money, but because you were afraid of what you might see. If that's you, I want you to hear this before anything else. God isn't disappointed in you. And the reason you're struggling with money probably isn't what you think. Today, I'm going to show you why so many Christian women keep restarting their budgets. The 4 hidden money patterns that almost nobody talks about, and the simple biblical system that can help you finally experience financial peace without relying on endless willpower. If you're anything like the women I hear from every week, you pray, you tithe, you trust God with your whole heart, yet somehow money still steals your peace. Every unexpected expense feels like another punch in the stomach. The car needs repairs. The grocery bill is higher again. A school expense pops up out of nowhere. And then something even worse happens. You don't just feel anxious, you feel guilty for feeling anxious. You quietly tell yourself, if I trusted God more, I wouldn't worry. But can I gently challenge that thought? Because I don't believe that's what Scripture teaches. Somewhere along the way, many Christians started believing that planning somehow means you don't trust God enough. But look at Joseph. When God revealed that famine was coming, Joseph didn't simply pray and hope everything would work out. He spent 7 years preparing. He built storehouses. He organized resources. He created a system. That wasn't fear. That was faith in action. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance." Think about that for a moment. Planning isn't the opposite of faith. Planning is often what faith looks like. God provides. But throughout Scripture, He also calls us to prepare, to steward, and to manage wisely. If your budget keeps falling apart, I want you to know something. You probably don't have a discipline problem. You have a system problem, because willpower eventually loses every single time. Your budget doesn't usually fail on Monday morning when you're motivated. It fails on Thursday evening after a long day at work, when you're exhausted, the kids are hungry, and someone suddenly remembers they need money for school tomorrow. That's when most budgets collapse. Not because you're bad with money, because the system expected you to be perfect. After talking with so many Christian women, I've noticed that almost everyone falls into one of 4 money patterns. See if one of these sounds familiar. The first is the emotional starter. Sunday night arrives. Fresh notebook, fresh budget, fresh motivation. This month will be different. Then Wednesday comes, life happens, the budget falls apart, and next month you start all over again. The second is the perfectionist. Every receipt is tracked. Every dollar has a category. Everything is perfectly organized. Then one unexpected expense appears. Suddenly it feels like you failed completely. So you give up. The third is the avoider. Checking your bank balance is important. But every time you think about opening your banking app, your stomach tightens. So you avoid it until you absolutely have no choice. The fourth is the overcomplicator. 30 budget categories, multiple spreadsheets, several budgeting apps. Eventually, managing your money becomes another full-time job. If you recognize yourself in any of those patterns, here's the good news. You don't need more motivation, you need less complexity. Because biblical stewardship isn't complicated, it's intentional. Imagine if every paycheck already knew exactly where it was going before you even had the chance to spend it. That's exactly what I call the stewardship flow system. Every dollar gets an assignment before it disappears. Instead of throwing everything into one checking account where bills, groceries, savings, and spending money all compete together, your income flows into 3 simple accounts. The first is your needs account. This usually receives around 50 to 65% of your income. It covers your non-negotiables: housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. Now imagine never having to wonder whether your essentials are covered. That quiet daily anxiety begins to disappear because your priorities have already been protected. The second account is your stability account. This usually receives around 10 to 20% of your income. Think of it as your financial shock absorber. Proverbs 21:20 tells us that wise people store up resources. Life will always surprise us. Cars break down, medical bills appear, appliances stop working. The goal isn't to stop unexpected expenses. The goal is to make sure unexpected expenses no longer create panic. Even during difficult seasons, this account should never disappear completely. The third account is the one that surprises most people. It's your freedom account. And honestly, this is the reason many budgets finally begin to work. Because this account gives you permission to spend. Yes, permission. A coffee with a friend, a birthday gift, a family outing, small joys that are planned instead of regretted. Because the money has already been set aside, spending doesn't create guilt. Guilt-free spending isn't irresponsible. It's what makes a budget sustainable for years instead of weeks. Here's something most financial advice completely misses. Getting out of debt isn't just about paying off debt. It's about making sure you never have to create new debt again. That's why your stability account matters so much. Minimum debt payments belong inside your needs account. Once your emergency cushion is in place, every extra dollar can begin attacking debt using either the debt snowball method or the debt avalanche method. The important thing is that one unexpected emergency no longer forces you back onto a credit card. Financial peace isn't created by one perfect month. It's built through small, faithful decisions repeated over time. And maintaining this entire system only takes 15 minutes each week. 5 minutes reviewing what you spent, 5 minutes checking your account balances, 5 minutes looking ahead at the coming week. That's it. No 3-hour spreadsheet sessions, no complicated financial software. Just 15 intentional minutes of biblical stewardship. If you've been waiting until you earn more money before feeling financially secure, let me encourage you with this. Peace doesn't begin with a bigger paycheck. Peace begins with a better system. And if you're ready to build that system in your own home, I've created a complete workbook called the Biblical Budget System. Inside, you'll find the full stewardship flow system, the complete setup guide, the 14-day financial reset plan, printable worksheets, debt payoff trackers, monthly planning pages, stewardship journal prompts, and practical biblical guidance designed specifically for Christian women who want lasting financial peace. You'll find the link in the description below. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What is one financial goal you're trusting God with this year? Leave it in the comments below because I read every single one. If this video encouraged you, please give it a like, subscribe for more biblical financial wisdom every week, and share it with someone who could use a little more hope and clarity in their finances. Remember this: financial peace doesn't begin when your bank account changes. It begins when your stewardship changes. Until next time, be faithful with what God has already placed in your hands. God bless.